Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself. Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below. It's got my social media. And it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. A former sergeant for the Mississippi Capitol Police Department is facing federal charges from an incident where he attacked a man they had chased, caught, and cuffed. And yet another story of a cop not being able to control his emotions. This is another instance of me being right about what needs to happen in law enforcement agencies across the nation. Jeff Walker, the now former cop, is also one of the defendants in a civil lawsuit over an officer-involved shooting in another incident. While it should be said that until Walker is convicted, he is considered innocent, that does not mean that it should not be considered that there were other officers present and they are not being charged. The civil lawsuit has a few different stories on the national scene, but the local story sounds bad. One person on a job for 1 year and 4 months should not have been involved in this many eye-raising incidents. And this was his third police department in a short order. Possibly he was just doing it for promotions, but he wasn't at any of these law enforcement agencies for very long. You can go to my Substack link down below if you want to research this information, get spellings correct and whatnot. Via the DOJ press release, an indictment was unsealed yesterday in the Southern District of Mississippi, charging former Mississippi State Capitol Police Flex Unit Officer Jeffrey Walker with felony deprivation of rights under color of law. According to the court documents, Walker used excessive force against a handcuffed arrestee identified as ES, including the use of dangerous weapons and force resulting in bodily injury. On July 27, 2022, Walker, driving an unmarked police car, attempted to initiate a traffic stop involving ES, who failed to stop and led Walker on a vehicle pursuit. During the pursuit, several Jackson Police Department officers followed behind Walker, cut ES off, causing Walker to run into a tree and ES to swerve into the yard behind Walker's car. An assisting JPD officer pulled ES from the car and handcuffed him without issue. Shortly after taking control of ES, who was still handcuffed and compliant at this point, Walker slammed ES's head into the hood of ES's car, put him on the ground, and kicked him in the head and face area. ES suffered bodily injury as a result of Walker's actions. If convicted, Walker faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. A federal district court judge will determine any sentence after considering U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. Now, via Jackson, Mississippi's WAPT 16, here is the multi-million-dollar lawsuit. A woman shot in an officer-involved shooting involving Capitol Police is now suing officers believed responsible. Attorney Carlos Moore filed a lawsuit Wednesday on behalf of Sharita Harris. The suit is against the Mississippi Department of Public Safety, the Mississippi Capitol Police Department, Officer Jeffrey Walker, and Officer Michael Reinwald. The suit is seeking damages in the amount of $3 million. Harris was a passenger in a vehicle that was stopped at a red light on State Street at Amite Street in downtown Jackson on August 14, 2022. Capitol Police made a traffic stop immediately after, commanding the vehicle to pull over. The lawsuit claims Reinwald began shooting into the vehicle despite the driver complying with officers. The driver attempted to drive away from the shooting officer. During the shooting, Harris suffered a bullet wound to the head. An ambulance took her to University of Mississippi Medical Center, where she received surgery to have the bullet fragments removed from her head. Following the surgery, Harris suffered severe complications with her speech, gait, and overall cognizant abilities, according to the lawsuit. The filing said Walker admitted to shooting toward the driver of the vehicle, but Reinwald's bullets is the one believed to have struck the defendant. There could be a reason why this dude is a former officer and now working for a security company. Now, look, I'm not sure what was going on with this flex unit in the Jackson, Mississippi Capitol Police Department. Why there are two police departments on top of that in the city of Jackson, Mississippi is another thing that's a little confusing. But this feller seemed to be an active individual. And I can't understand why anybody would think that you want police officers like this. I mean, seriously. But, like I have said many times, instead of defunding the police, we need to start funding ways to get them to realize that they need to de-stress far more frequently and they need to learn how to control their emotions. That takes training for some people. And obviously, this dude ain't ever had that kind of training, ain't ever considered that kind of training. So something needs to be done about this because it's not just former Officer Walker's. He's not the only one. I don't even know where to begin on saying that, hey, this is something that needs to be fixed. So let's start working towards fixing it. But, it's up to more than just myself flapping my jaws. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking your time. I want to hear what your comments are about what you think on this topic because your comments are what's important, not necessarily mine. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're liberal. I don't care if you're Democrat. I want to hear your opinion on these topics. I want to thank you yet again for listening to my video. Like, subscribe, and all that other hoopla. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.